Biscuits are a form of quick bread. Instead of using yeast, they use a chemical leavener such as baking powder. The distinction of the biscuit method is to have small pieces of fat coated in flour and dispersed throughout the dough. When the fat melts in the oven, the steam captured in the little pockets gives lift and rise to the product, creating a flaky texture. This means that using cold butter is one of the most important aspects of this method. To begin, preheat the oven to 425 degrees. So first we're going to start with sifting our dry ingredients together. Start with the flour. Add our salt. Got our chemical leavener. And our sugar. All right. We want to get them all in here too so that they're evenly dispersed. We don't want to have a clump of baking powder sitting on top. We want it evenly throughout the bowl. All right. So we got our sifted flour. Then we're going to take our cold fat, which we've cut into cubes. We're gently going to coat the butter in the flour and then start breaking it up into small pieces until it looks like coarse cornmeal. So you can also use shortening if you want. Just make sure that you chill the shortening just like you did with the butter. We've got our fat dispersed in our flour. We'll make a little well in the center of the bowl. And we're going to take the milk, pour it right in the center. And we're just going to slowly combine the two. Just till about just combined. You just kind of dust your bench a little bit. And then we'll finish working the product just gently. We're going to fold it together until combined. And we're going to get that all in there. That's right. Then we're going to roll out the dough. Be real gentle with your rolling pin. Right? We don't want to overwork the dough, but about 3/4 of an inch thick. Okay. Alrighty. So you have your cutter, and you do want to place them as close as possible because this is not a dough that you can work over and over again. All right. So just straight down, side by side with your cutter. All right, here. Just lightly brush the tops with butter then. Remember, just the tops, we don't want it dripping down the sides. Otherwise, the butter will actually kind of catch on the dough on the side and pinch it as it bakes, and then they won't rise straight up and down. Place the pan in the oven and bake at 425 degrees for about 15 minutes until golden brown in color. They should ideally be twice as tall as they were going into the oven. While these can be served warm or cold, a warm biscuit with butter and honey is always a favorite. The biscuit technique of using cold butter with flour is also used for baking scones, soda breads, and pie dough. Biscuits are easy to make and have a wonderful soft texture and buttery flavor. They can be used as rolls and even to top a savory pie. The dough can also be used for pull-apart breads or even fried to make donuts. You can make variations of the basic recipe depending on what you add, including cheese, crispy bacon, herbs, and spices. Many families have their own recipe and spin on this classic roll, so biscuits are a great, crowd-pleasing addition to a menu or bake shop.